This is Morty Smith, a kind-hearted, foolish 14-year-old boy who is passionate about self-pressure.
I thought you went to a concert!
We forgot the tickets! Why in the kitchen?
I do it everywhere! Stop shaming me!
And here is the intelligent and cunning Morty Smith, who always knows what to do in the toughest situations.
What the hell? I figured it out, Rick! The parasites can only create pleasant memories. I know you're real because I have a ton of bad memories with you.
That is why today I am here with you to highlight the moments when Morty displayed intelligence that left viewers amazed. Number 1, Morty saves his girlfriend before she is sold like a commodity. Don't think of Morty as the wimpy, "Oh geez, Rick" kid who clings to his grandpa all day. Take a look at how he just single-handedly wiped out the entire Tina Tears human trafficking gang to rescue his girlfriend, and you'll have to change your perspective immediately. In the episode, a Rick Convenient Mort, after being captured and threatened with being burned alive by a member of the Tina Tears group, Morty discovered that they were actually exploiting and preparing to sell Planet Tina as a commodity to a wealthy Arab ambassador.
We own her, but not for long, of course. We're gonna sell her to some Arab overseas.
Despite being tightly bound with both hands, Morty didn't flinch. Instead, he used his wits, probably honed from his adventures with Rick, to outsmart the manager Eddie and snatch away his elemental ring. Dressed as a pizza delivery guy, Morty wiped out the entire Tina Tears group and bodyguard in the blink of an eye. This scene not only showcases his remarkable growth in combat skills, but also proves that when pushed to the edge, Morty's mind can switch gears lightning fast and ruthlessly, rivaling even Rick Sanchez.
I'm finally free, all because of Morty.
What a romantic story about our son killing a room full of people. Your turn.
Number 2, Morty realizes the parasites and eliminates them to save his family. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you couldn't tell who's truly family and who's just a fake?
No! Shoot! Now look, it's like a Where's Waldo page. Can you find me? Check out all these zany characters.
In the episode Total Rick All, Morty gets thrown into a scenario that would probably leave you just as confused. Family members and friends keep popping up, each with fond memories of the family, and no one can be sure who's real. What would you do even if your own memories couldn't be trusted anymore?
That's it. Photos, hard evidence.
You're not in any of my photos, Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Well, what do you know about this? You're not in any of mine.
Morty as well, when the entire Smith family went crazy because of the parasites constantly implementing fake, overly rosy memories into their heads. The climax was when he pointed a gun at Rick, almost sending his grandpa to the afterlife, thinking he was an imposter.
Are you listening to me, you son of a bitch scum? We can either do this the easy way or the hard way. You know, do you want to live? Then open the blast shield doors.
However, just as Rick was spewing a string of insults, calling him a troublesome kid, Morty suddenly realized that the parasites could only implant happy, sweet memories to deceive their hosts. Meanwhile, the relationship between him and Rick was filled with awful memories, scoldings, and even abandonment. It was precisely those painful memories that served as the most undeniable proof of who his real family was.
The parasites can only create pleasant memories. I know you're real because I have a ton of bad memories with you.
So Morty immediately pulled the trigger, taking out the parasitic creatures disguised as friends right in front of him to save Rick and the family. This sudden shift in Morty's mindset not only saved his family, but also proved that he possesses emotional intelligence and observational skills far beyond his usual clueless demeanor.
From now on, let's all be careful to wash our hands when we get back from outer space.
Number 3, Morty saved Rick from evil Rick. In the episode, Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, we witnessed a moment that completely shattered the perception of Morty's weakness. When he was thrown into a dungeon alongside thousands of other Morty clones in Evil Rick's base, Morty gradually came to a terrifying realization. All of them were being treated like tools, like biological batteries used to cover up Rick's crimes.
Yeah, it's gotta be that way. You're a camouflage.
Camouflage? What are you talking about, Rick?
But instead of panicking or resigning to fate, he voiced what everyone was thinking but didn't dare to admit, that the Mortys didn't deserve to be treated this way. Then, with a fiery speech, Morty ignited a sense of self-worth and sparked a rebellion among the clones and variants.
We're Mortys! We're not defined by our relationships to Rick! Our destiny is our own!
The image of countless Mortys breaking free from their iron cages, storming forward like a raging tide, and crushing evil Rick, is a testament to the emotional intelligence and latent leadership qualities of someone who's always been underestimated by Rick.
I did a pretty good job back there for a human cloaking device. Saved your ass.
All right, Morty, don't break an arm jerking yourself off.
Number 4, Morty becomes a math prodigy. Have you ever thought that a kid like Morty, who was once considered mentally challenged, could leave his entire family stunned with his math knowledge?
Square root of pi, Morty, go!
1.77245,385. Whoa!
What the hell?
Holy crap, he's right.
In the pilot episode, after a crazy adventure with Rick, the megaseeds that Morty was forced to hide in his rectum temporarily made his brain way smarter than usual.
I'm gonna need you to take these seeds into the bathroom, and I'm gonna need you to put them way up inside your butthole, Morty.
My butt.
Put them way up inside there, as far as they can fit.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Meanwhile, Jerry and Beth are busy arguing over whether they should dump Rick in a nursing home, believing that he's the reason Morty's academic performance has gone down the drain.
I am not putting my father in a home. He just came back into my life, and you want to grab him and stuff him under a mattress like last month's Victoria's Secret?
However, just as Rick made Morty do a difficult math problem, the whole family was left speechless when the kid, who was always considered to have learning disabilities, rattled off the answer flawlessly without missing a single digit. Although that intelligence only lasted for a moment due to the side effects of the mega seed, that moment still proved that Morty wasn't dumb at all. He just hadn't unlocked the hidden genius potential within himself yet.
Full disclosure, Morty, it's not. Temporary superintelligence is just a side effect of the megaseeds dissolving in your rectal cavity.
Oh, man.
Number 5, Morty breaks away from Rick to become the Wolf of Wall Street. Have you ever imagined what a Morty without a shred of insecurity, anxiety, or fear would look like? In the episode Rest and Rick Laxation, after shedding all the psychological toxins into a detox machine at an intergalactic spa, Morty truly transformed into a bona fide alpha wolf.
Morty, word around school is you've become super healthy.
I don't know about all that. I do, however, know that I have a pretty bad case of haven't taken you to dinner-itis.
Can you imagine it? A once timid Morty now strutting around in a sharp suit, closing million-dollar deals, storming into the New York Stock Exchange, and dominating the places like a true Wolf of Wall Street.
Heinholz Biotech, $1.5 million at 33.
You little fucking monster.
With a confidence so bold it borders on arrogance, he owns a luxurious penthouse in the heart of Manhattan and has a smoking hot girlfriend named Jacqueline. This is no longer the little boy trailing behind his grandpa, but a full-fledged business shark exuding confidence, someone who's even willing to ignore a call from his crush, Jessica, just to back in the glory of his success.
I'm back, Morty. I miss you.
It's just a shame that, in the end, Rick wouldn't let him break free so easily. But even so, it was enough to showcase Morty's incredible transformation. When he's not shackled by fear, Morty's intellect and guts are truly something you can't underestimate. Number 6, Morty cleverly helps himself and Rick escape from Scary Terry. In the episode Lawnmower Dog, there's a very brief moment that shows Morty is way smarter than his usual goofy demeanor suggests. Do you remember the time Rick and Morty were being chased by Scary Terry, the terrifying knockoff version of Freddy Krueger?
Looks like some sort of legally safe knockoff of an 80s horror character.
I'm Scary Terry.
In the midst of Rick starting to lose control and freaking out, running frantically through the layers of dreams, the killer Terry kept roaring his catchphrase.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
At that moment, Morty had a super simple yet unexpectedly clear epiphany. He wondered if running away was truly pointless, why would Terry bother emphasizing it so much? So instead of continuing the endless, exhausting chase, Morty decided to flip the logic on its head and convinced his grandpa to hide right in the middle of the post-apocalyptic city, Terry's own turf. And wow, Morty was spot on. Scary Terry searched high and low but couldn't find the duo, so he eventually gave up and passed out from sheer exhaustion. This moment shows that Morty is not just a kid who always gets in Rick's way during every adventure, but sometimes he's the only one clear-headed enough to make decisions in life or death situations. Number 7, Morty jumped into a fake acid vat to escape the cops. When the dumbest idea turns out to be the only lifeline that helps you escape from incredibly awkward situations. You didn't mishear that, did you? That's exactly the moment when Morty surprises us all in the iconic episode, the Vat of Acid episode.
The f is wrong with you?
Just admit it was a shitty idea.
After messing up the timelines and being cornered by the police force and an angry mob outside the garage.
Speaking of, time to pay the piper.
Morty Smith, come out with your hands up, you sick. We're also fine with just shooting you if you want a suicide by cop.
Instead of panicking uselessly, Morty cleverly executes a plan he himself once mocked as the dumbest idea in history. Jumping into a fake acid vat to fake his death. Just imagine this, surrounded by dozens of gun barrels pointed straight at him, Morty not only shows incredible bravery, but also extraordinary patience as he hides at the bottom of the tank, calmly activating the fake bone release mechanism at just the right moment to fool everyone. The brilliance here isn't just Rick's technology, but Morty's quick adaptability to unexpected situations. Even when a curious cop uses a ladle to scoop up some acid, Morty keeps his cool and handles the situation smoothly.
Oh, no, huh? I'm acid proof. All of you. All of you. I'm gonna be rich.
Number 8, Morty tricked and killed Fart after learning that it wanted to destroy Earth. A Morty that we usually see as timid and shy showed a completely opposite side in the episode Morty Night Run. Let's guess what he did to pull off such an epic transformation.
We can't get him out of here. He's gaseous. He's not gonna make it through a portal, Morty. Well, then I guess we're all getting in the car, right?
Fine.
No, just get in the car.
After sacrificing thousands of lives and defying his grandfather's objections to save Fart, a philosophical and dreamy gaseous entity, Morty believes he's doing the right thing by rescuing a gentle being from the fate of assassination.
Thank you, Morty. You are not like other carbon-based life forms. You put the value of all life above your own.
It's how things should be. It's how they could be.
But then in the very moment, Fart gently revealed its plan to return with its comrades to wipe out all carbon-based life. With his sharp instincts, understood everything. Letting Fart live would mean the annihilation of everyone he cared about. Without any drawn-out moral debates or waiting for Rick to step in, he tricked Fart into singing one last song, then coldly pulled the trigger of the antimatter gun, ending the life of the friend he had just risked everything to protect. Morty killed Fart not out of hatred, but because he was smart enough to understand that misplaced kindness is a crime, and he accepted the torment to do what was truly right. Number 9, Morty relies on the intelligence of Rick and Zeep to escape from the tribe of perverted tree people. If up until now you still think Morty's always just Rick's shadow, then you're seriously mistaken. Check out the episode The Ricks Must Be Crazy, and let me help you completely change that negative mindset.
Holy shit, Morty! I haven't seen you in months. You're leading the tree people? Huh, that's a step up.
This time, Morty's no longer by Rick's side as usual. He's stuck in a place as awful as hell itself, a tribe of twisted, savage, and completely out of control tree people. Unable to escape on his own, Morty quickly adapts and ends up becoming the leader of the tribe. Meanwhile, Rick and Zeep are still obsessively crafting weapons to annihilate each other like a couple of kids.
I hope your god is as big a dick as you.
Morty realized that if he let the two of them roam free, they would fight to the death in this tiny universe. So he used the authority of the tribe to force those two genius brains to set their egos aside and focus their intellect on building a teleportation device under his supervision. No reasoning, no begging, Morty chose to take control of the situation because he knew that here, the tribe he led was truly the strongest force.
Look, I don't care what it takes. You two are putting aside your bullshit and you're working together to get us back home.
The moment Morty outright called the entire tribe of tree people the worst sponge ever after safely leaving the teenyverse is proof that he's not naive at all. He's just pretending to be innocent to manipulate the smartest ones to do exactly what he wants. Number 10, Morty destroys his own arm to escape from the psycho Nick. The one who dares to endure pain to destroy one of their own arms is truly no ordinary person. That's right, in the episode Forgetting Sarek Mortshall, even just a fleeting moment of Morty's actions happening in the blink of an eye was enough to send chills down the viewer's spines. When cornered by Nick, the psycho with a portal on his thigh, on the train tracks, Morty suddenly realized a harsh truth. Nick wasn't just some innocent victim of Rick's, he was a dangerously unhinged maniac. And if Morty didn't sever the portal connection between them, he will die. In a fleeting moment, Morty didn't resort to crying or begging. Instead, with a chilling decisiveness, he thrust his hand under the wheels of the oncoming train. The moment the sound of bones breaking echoed, Morty proved that he was just as devious as Rick. Morty threw the severed hand into the portal on Nick's thigh, triggering a spatial collapse that instantly swallowed the villain whole. Though the action happened in the blink of an eye, it was enough to showcase Morty's sheer bravery and razor-sharp mind capable of making split-second decisions. Number 11, Morty trapped Rick in a matrix of his own creation. Although Morty is always the one Rick looks down on during their adventures, there have been plenty of times when Morty has shown his cleverness, leaving his grandpa absolutely fuming.
Seriously, Morty? You're that uncreative?
Who's Morty?
That's right, what happens in the opening episode of Season 8, titled Summer of All Fear, is the clearest proof of that. After being trapped in a simulated matrix by Rick for many years, Morty suffered the heavy consequences of war and loss. He returned to reality burdened with psychological trauma and developed PTSD. The once innocent 14-year-old kid could never have imagined that his grandpa would lock him up for all those years over such a ridiculous reason.
Rick, we're sorry we stole your phone charger. We learned our lesson. Now let us out.
If that was gonna work, we would have been ejected by now.
All the pent-up frustration finally boiled over, and Morty decided to give Rick a taste of his own medicine in a way no one could have ever seen coming. With an intricately staged setup, he effortlessly trapped Rick back into the very Matrix machine that Rick himself had created. Although Rick eventually managed to escape his own Matrix, the sight of the genius Rick, with a face full of frustration, screaming Morty's name inside the Matrix really drove home the point that Morty's intelligence is anything but ordinary.
Seriously, Morty? You're that uncreative?
Who's Morty?
Number 12, Morty promptly saved Rick from Tiny Rick. Do you remember Tiny Rick, the teenage version of Rick who was absolutely on fire, rocking out and singing like a pro, making the entire high school go wild?
Hunting a vampire with my grandkids! Tiny Rick!
Well, behind that cool and edgy exterior was a youthful ego silently devouring the soul of the old, worn-out Rick. While everyone is easily fooled by the flashy exterior, Morty and Summer gradually pick up on strange signals as the seemingly teen pop sounding tunes are actually desperate cries for help.
Look at his art, Morty.
I've got an emo streak. It's part of what makes me so rad.
Why does it say, "Help me, Morty and Summer"?
And just as Tiny Rock is about to destroy his original body, Morty shows up just in time to stop it from happening. Morty understood that to save his grandpa, he couldn't resort to violence. A genius move by him and his sister Summer was forcing Tiny Rick to listen to Elliott Smith's music. Sounds kind of random, right? But in reality, Morty was incredibly perceptive in realizing that only those melancholic, deeply emotional tunes could awaken the original Rick within. This keen psychological insight was what helped Morty rescue Rick from the dangerous trap of eternal youth.
Holy shit! Thanks, kids. You figured it out.
Number 13, Morty came up with the idea of producing spaghetti without risking human lives. Morty has always been known as an innocent, shy kid who tries to take responsibility for the things he causes, unlike his grandpa. And let's see how he handles a spaghetti crisis in the episode That's a Morty.
Okay, tough problem. Definitely a spicy meatball. But we can fix it, right, Rick?
After discovering that the family's favorite spaghetti dish was actually made from the organs of people who had committed suicide on another planet and brought back Rick, Morty didn't just stop at condemning his grandpa's questionable ethics. He came up with the idea of forcing Rick to use science to create a supply of spaghetti without taking anyone's life.
Okay, so we just need to figure out something else besides people to put in the cans, right?
Then, Morty suggested that Rick creates minimalistic clone entities, creatures without full consciousness consisting only of a torso and a single arm to end their own existence in order to separate human emotions from the food supply. Although this idea later led to unimaginable chaos, it showed that Morty had started to figure out how to use the madness of science to tackle complex problems.
Fuck! We owe so much spaghetti to so many planets that we're all going to have to kill ourselves.
Slow down. Rick can synthesize anything he gets a sample of. Can't we still try that?
Never giving up, with his unwavering determination, Morty finally showed the entire galaxy the raw truth behind those delicious plates of Italian spaghetti, thereby putting an end to this dark spaghetti industry once and for all.
I think I can speak on behalf of my people. We've had enough spaghetti.
Number 14, Morty realizes that Rick turned himself into a pickled cucumber to avoid the family therapy session. Imagine this, one day you have a grandfather who's a cosmic genius, someone who can freely travel across all dimensions, but he decides to turn himself into a lonely pickled cucumber sitting on a table.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty!
When Rick boldly declares, "I did it because I can," the whole family seems utterly baffled by the absurdity of it all. But not Morty. He proved that he understands Rick better than anyone else in the family. With just a glance, he immediately figured out the key piece of evidence in the situation. A syringe containing a solution dangling and meticulously timed to drop right onto the pickled cucumber the moment the whole family left. Turns out, there wasn't any groundbreaking scientific breakthrough at all. It was just an elaborate setup to dodge going to family therapy.
I was told there was a grandpa that might be joining us.
He got wrapped up in an experiment. He's a scientist.
The moment Morty first witnessed his grandpa turning into a pickle, he wasn't as surprised as he used to be whenever Rick invented something new. Instead, his eyes were filled with suspicion, sensing there was something shady Rick was trying to hide. It wasn't because Rick was any less brilliant, but because Morty had grown smarter than we gave him credit for, understanding why Rick chose such a bizarre way to avoid things.
Sweetie, could I get that syringe now?
Oh my god, yes. Dad, it's in my purse. Oh, I'm sorry. You must be in agony.
Number 15, Morty saves Summer from her monster form. In the episode The Whirly Dirty Conspiracy, when Rick was absent, we got to see a Morty who wasn't clueless as usual. On the contrary, the kid was incredibly sharp in his decisions, taking on the role of the only adult in the house.
Wait, I know where she is! Ethan and Summer were supposed to go camping, and then he dumped Summer for this girl Trisha Lang who's got huge boobies. Camp Flabbanabba!
When Summer, feeling insecure about her appearance, messed around with Rick's Morphizer XE in the garage, she ended up turning herself into a giant. Beth, with her oversized ego, tried to prove that she was capable as her dad, only to make things even worse, sending her into a panic. Meanwhile, Morty kept an impressively cool head. After trying to convince his mom to call Rick for the best solution, but failing, he calmly pieced everything together and realized the real reason behind Summer's insecurity was that Ethan had dumped her to chase after another girl.
Wait, I know where she is! Ethan and Summer were supposed to go camping, and then he dumped Summer for this girl Trisha Lang who's got huge boobies.
Morty was the one who later took Beth to Camp Flabbanabba, the planet where Ethan was dating his new girlfriend. There, Beth and Summer had a heartfelt conversation, saying things they had never said before to better understand each other. And when Ethan showed up, Morty coldly stepped in to put him in his place, silently but decisively protecting Summer. A more mature and clever Morty, ready to stand up and shield his family members from harm when Rick was away. That's all the times we've seen Morty use his intelligence in the right place and at the right time. Morty has never been considered a genius like Rick, but he's always smart in his own unique way. So, which moments of Morty impressed you the most? Feel free to share your thoughts below, and don't forget to stay tuned for our upcoming videos. And as always, thanks for watching.